himself into the all-star race. Let's try and find out where the points leaders is. I think he started, I think it was dead last or near dead last. And he's not really made up any ground whatsoever. Dylan Poteet's still running right at the tail end of the field right now, right behind rookie Mark Thomas. Sean Henley's back here as well. Stephen Pollard the third, Trent Dunham, all running near the back of the pack right now. Don't know if this is strategy or not, but there's a spin. Eric Burton is spun. Kevin White's around Lyndon Wright's into the wall. And there they go. Look out. Dylan Poteet got through that, but there's Kevin White and Lyndon Wright. Their names rhyme, quite ironically enough. That's going to bring caution out. Noah Hart has sustained some damage on his machine, and the leader at the stripe, I think by a splitter, was Sean Galligan. Just barely over Pichu London. So Sean Galligan's worked his way to the lead now, and he is going to be the leader under the caution flag. So we jump back here. There's Kevin White and Lyndon Wright. Nick Bellardo may have gotten a piece of it, I don't know. And I saw Noah Hart with damage. There's Eric Burton. We know he spun. Where's the Noah Hart machine? Oh, Dougie Shears right there in the 21. Fifth in points. He's got damage. And just a few cars ahead of him is Noah Hart. I think he does have some damage to his hood. But that was not really a huge wreck. I'm trying to see if there's any damage to the 6 of Austin LaPlante. There could be, but I'm not certain. We're going to have to definitely look at the replay to find out. And will these drivers make any pit stops during this point here on lap 6 of 20? Let's see if anybody peels off for pit road. Looks like they could be. Yeah, I think they're going to come down and pit. Aaron Williams Jr. going to decide to stay out. James Silverfox, Charles Jackson, and Alex DeMarco all going to do the same. A couple others also staying out. Couldn't tell who they were, though, because they were too far back. As the top 5 coming down pit road are going to be Galligan, London, Navarrete, Russell, and Brian James. Pulling into the pit stall is Sean Galligan. Let's see what kind of strategy the leader's going to go for here. Not quite midway through this race. They are going to put right side tires on that Blue Deuce. Let's see if they're going to... Nope, they're going to go with just the 2 tire stop. So let's watch the race off of pit road. Sean Galligan right now about midway through pit road, and he's coming out the leader, I'm pretty sure. Yes, he is. Sean Galligan, he'll come out first. Max Russell's going to... Or no, Pichu London, rather. Then it's going to be Brian James, Emilio Navarrete, and I think Danny Wells picked up a few spots on pit road there. Whoa, watch out. John Radigan pulling out right in front of Daniel Day, but they're going to continue on, and so everybody making some pit stops here. A few drivers did decide to stay out, however, and we'll document them in just a moment as we'll take a look now at a replay of what puts under the caution for the first time today, or tonight rather, at Riki Raceway. We'll switch to the TV one camera in just a moment. I just wanted to see how the contact actually begins. Oh, there it was. The 21 of Dougie Shears gets into the 8 of Eric Burton, and they go up into Kevin White. So we wouldn't have been able from this camera angle to see where the initial contact began. Noah Hart did indeed get some damage as he got a piece of the Eric Burton machine. There's Dougie Shears and Lyndon Wright. They're going to go down into the wall. I think that's a 20 of Prudence Littlejohn's going to get into the back of Kevin White. So a little bit of damage sustained there. I'm trying to see as it goes by. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's the 18. I think that was the 18 of Alex May, actually. It's hard to tell those 2 Home Depot Toyotas apart. Yeah, that was Alex May. Yep, Prudence Littlejohn apparently was ahead of all that. There's Nick Bellardo. I don't really think he got any damage. I think he slowed up in time and just lost the field in his attempt to not get any damage. But there's Kevin White and there's Lyndon Wright. 2 rookies there. Lyndon Wright, who actually comes into this race currently running 12th in points, was trying to get himself back inside the top 10 in the standings. He's going to have some damage, but I don't think it'll take him out of this race. I think I saw him actually come off pit road. There's Kevin White in the 50s, so I don't think anybody really sustained enough damage to take them out of this event, but we'll find out as we head back to green. Aaron Williams Jr. has just given up the top spot to come down and make a pit stop. We also saw Cody Lamas on pit road. But there doesn't mean that there are not drivers that have decided to still stay out. Silverfox is the leader now as he has stayed out. Charles Jackson will line up in 2nd. Alex DeMarco 3rd. 4th, Dougie Shears. 5th, Austin LaPlante. Stephen Pollard 3rd. 6th, Zach Rogers 7th. 8th, Adam Chambers. 9th, Trent Dunham. And Joshua Michaels is going to run in 10th place. First car to pit was Sean Galligan. He'll restart 11th. 12th, PG London. 13th, Emilio Navarrete. 14th, Brian James. 15th, Danny Wells. Rest of the top 20 are Jacob Lawler, Tyson Broad, William Duncan, Dunn LaPrade, and Max Russell. Where are our top 2 in points? I don't think I've seen them since the drop of the green flag. There's James McLeod. I think he's going to roll off from the 23rd position on this restart. And Dylan Poteet is currently on pit road making a pit stop. So he's going to start at the tail end of the field, is Dylan Poteet. There's Aaron Williams Jr., Nick Bellardo, and Cody Lamas, who all decided to stay out and lead a lap or something, I guess. They're going to start at the tail end of this field as well. So James Silverfox, the only one of the Turner Motorsports cars that has had absolutely abysmal luck this season, out in front here trying to work some pit strategy to get himself to victory lane. I believe this is the only series in which Silverfox is not locked into the All-Star race as well. He had a win this season in Mobile Cup Series. And so I do believe after the cycle of pit stops, William Duncan in the 22 is going to line up as the leader. And it looks like these drivers who did get back on the tail and lead lap are going to start ahead of William Duncan. So apparently that caution helped them get back on the tail and lead lap, but they still have the opportunity to go down a lap to the leaders. And it looks like two drivers at least are out of the race, Dylan Young and Dylan Poteet, the points leader. Two drivers who came inside the top 10 in the points, and then maybe Alex DeMarco as well, as we know he had damage, and Pichu London, who was run up inside the top 5 not 2 laps ago. He's got damage and is on pit road as well. We'll have to document everything when we come back. We got to take a look at the replay of what just happened. Well, here it was. As you're going to see, someone's going to run out of fuel here, and I think it was the James Silverfox machine up ahead of him. And everybody's just trying to find a way around them. And I don't really understand why these drivers went to the apron. They could have easily gone around to the high side, but nonetheless, there you see them all held up there. And Dylan Young's going to hook the Chris Dollerton machine around. And what looked like they may be able to get through okay once they got to the back straightaway, it just didn't happen. Dylan Young spins around the 83 of Chris Dollerton. Then Dylan Young gets hit from behind by Eric Burton. He gets sent up the racetrack right into, I believe that was Alex Tanker in the 29. And it's just on from here. There you see Sanford. He's going to get involved there, gets spun around. Noah Hart gets turned around. And then watch coming on the, oh, we can get rid of this. Yeah, coming on the right side of your screen, Dylan Poteet. I think he's going to hit the Dylan Young machine. He turns a dead left to be able to slide on through, and Dylan Young was there. And then hard into Mark Thomas as well goes Dylan Poteet. Poteet never let off the throttle. And Noah Hart, extensive damage to his cars. I think he T-boned Charles Sanford. But right there, folks, is your points leader, Dylan Poteet, in the 31. Well, I should say your former points leader, because I'm pretty sure now James McLeod, who is still on the racetrack, will take the points lead back. Maybe Brian James may have something to say about that. We'll find out. But first, 6th, and 7th in points all were involved in this one. Poteet, Dylan Young, and Chris Dollerton. And this race just took a drastic turn all of a sudden there, with cars dropping like flies out of fuel. Almost reminds me of our Snickers Cup Series race from Daytona last season. But it ends up paying out big dividends the wrong way for our points leader, Dylan Poteet. Let's head back to green. Lights are out on the racetrack and atop the pace car. We'll go back to green flag racing with 5 laps to go. Now you're looking right now at what I thought was going to be the leader. That is not the case, however. With the fact that Trent Dunham, Zach Rogers, and everybody up ahead were able to make their pit stop, stay on the tail end of the lead lap, and stayed out under that caution flag, they are the top 7. Charles Jackson is the leader. Chambers is 2nd. 3rd is LaPlante, 4th is Michaels, Zach Rogers 5th, and Trent Dunham is in 6th. So talk about turning your luck around and having a little bit of luck on your side with a caution coming out at just the right time. They're going to restart up at the front of the field. William Duncan, who was the first to pit under that caution flag, however, I don't think there's much of a difference between his tire wear and the top 6 tire wear. He's going to restart 7th, Navarrete in 8th, Dunlaprad 9th, and Max Russell is in 10th. Bob Jones 11th, Lawler is in 12th, Henley 13th, Galligan 14th, Danny Wells in 15th, 16th is Andy Timmons, Nick Bellardo is 17th, 18th Brian James, 19th is Stephen Pollard III, and right now with where James McLeod is running in the 20th position, he would be the new points leader heading into the All-Star race weekend. There's Brian James. Now Brian James was 7 points behind James McLeod coming into tonight's race. He'd have to finish 8 positions ahead of James McLeod on this final 5-lap segment in order to take the points lead from the driver of the 30. We'll keep an eye on that, see if he'll be able to do it. But Charles Jackson looking for his 2nd win of the season. He won earlier this season at Las Vegas. Let's see what he can do here as he comes in 11th in points, trying to get himself back inside the top 10 in the standings. Green flag is back out, and Charles Jackson gets us back underway. Let's see if in this 5-lap segment we can run clean and green to the checkers as Chambers throws the crossover move, and that was a nice move there by the pole sitter Adam Chambers. You got William Duncan working with Trent Dunham back there. And these guys, as far as I know, should be good to go on fuel. We're not going to have any drivers dropping to the apron out of fuel and causing big pileups like we just had. Speaking of pileups, we should document on who has retired from this race as LaPlante looks for the lead now. And the drivers that have retired are as follows. Alex DeMarco, Pichu London, Noah Hart, Dylan Young, and the points leader, Dylan Pote, came in the points leader. He'll finish dead last here tonight. Adam Chambers did a good job there holding off Austin LaPlante. I don't think LaPlante had any drafting help down there, though, as Adam Chambers was able to recruit Charles Jackson on the high side, and that allowed him to keep the top spot. And we've had a 6-car breakaway now. I don't exactly know how that happened. There's 7th on back there. Stephen Pollard, Sean Henley, Dunn LaPrade, Emilio Navarrete. The top 6 have broken away, and they'll put 3 to go on the board, and those other 4 have got to hurry if they're going to be contenders for this win. We may be looking at the drivers who are going to settle it out. Charles Jackson, Joshua Michaels, Adam Chambers, Austin LaPlante, Trent Dunham, and Zach Rogers. There's more pit stops going on. Aaron Williams Jr., Lyndon Wright, they were just on the pit road. So apparently some drivers were not able to make it the rest of the way on fuel, as some drivers are now going to start merging. Brian James, Nick Bellardo, they had to come down pit road. So now does that mean these guys here in the top 6 are going to have to come down? Let's see. Anybody going to make the peel off onto pit road this time? Thought maybe Joshua Michaels might have been thinking about it, but no, he's actually going for the lead. And now he's going to try and slice and dice his way through traffic. Brian James just ahead, Nick Bellardo there as well, and it looks like Jacob Lawler there too. Emilio Navarrete, he was running just inside the top 10. He just had to come to pit road, so maybe these drivers not going to be able to make it. Joshua Michaels lined up there with about 1.5 laps to go as they hit the back straightaway. Dunn LaPrade, he was inside the top 10. He had to make a pit stop. And look at Joshua Michaels down here going to the inside of Brian James and Jacob Lawler, drafting with the 3 of Nick Bellardo. But Trent Dunham's right there. Trent Dunham is there to make a move. Oh no, they had to pit. Michaels and Dunham had to pit, and Zach Rogers stayed out. So did Chambers, so did Jackson. And so did Austin LaPlante, white flag in the air. Zach Rogers trying to get the inside of Brian James. Meanwhile, though, if he gets held up, Charles Jackson, Adam Chambers may have something to say about this lead and this win. Do they have enough fuel to get to the end is the question, though, as they're going to work to the inside of the damaged Dunn LaPrade machine. And James McLeod had to make a pit stop. And Brian James is going to come right behind him, so McLeod will probably be the points leader still. Here comes Charles Jackson, looking at the bottom. He sticks Zach Rogers in the middle. Brian James on the extreme high side, 3 wide for the win. Jackson had to pit. He just gave it up. Zach Rogers is going to survive. He's going to come down, and he's going to pick up his first win of his NNSCRA career here at Riki Raceway. Why Charles Jackson decided to come down pit road when he just had to make a few hundred feet down to the start-finish line, I am not really sure. But nonetheless, he basically handed this win over to rookie Zach Rogers, because that would have been a photo finish at the stripe. Man, I wish Jackson had not decided to pit, though. That would have been an incredible finish, but Zach Rogers can now breathe a huge sigh of relief as he is going to win here tonight in the Susan G. Komen 200. What a great win for that team, and Zach Rogers locks himself up a spot with this win in this season's All-Star race. He started this race inside the top 5. Believe he rolled off from the 3rd position. I may be wrong. Stayed up front for most of the evening. Ended up having that timely caution come out, which kept him on the tail end lead lap and found him a spot inside the top 10 once again, and then worked his way through lap traffic, and fortunately for him, Charles Jackson decided to come down pit road at the last minute. I really question that strategy on the part of the 42. He could have very easily been a 2-time winner this season. But the end result is the end result, and Zach Rogers is the winner here tonight. His first win of his NNSCRA career and his first win this season in the Oreo Truck Series. The pole sitter Adam Chambers, very good run for him in 2nd place. Austin LaPlante, good run for the 6th. He'll get 3rd. His teammate Stephen Pollard, the 3rd, is going to get 4th. John Radigan, he'll finish in 5th. How about Charles Sanford? Remember, he spun around there when they had trouble getting around the out-of-fuel James Silverfox machine? Well, he's going to finish in 6th. And Silver Fox, who did run out of fuel, he's going to finish in 7th position. That's probably the best finish of the year for that number 4 car. And how about circumstances turning out for him? Dougie Shears, I think, was another driver who actually ran out of fuel. He's going to come around and finish in 8th tonight. Alex May, who had some damage from one of those earlier incidents, he's going to get 9th. Great run for that rookie. And how about Cody Lamas? Nice follow-up top 10 run after his win last week at Nazareth. Let's see where James McLeod finished out today's race. He finished in the 26th position. Brian James finished 3 positions behind him in 29th, and we know Poteet finished in dead last. So the result is going to be that the points leader heading into the All-Star Race weekend will be the 3-time winner, James McLeod. So congratulations to Jake Rogers tonight on his win, able to stretch the fuel to get himself his first career win of his NNSCRA career. Congratulations to him and the 33 team on their victory here tonight. We still got more Riki Raceway racing coming your way. The Mo 1 Cup Series and Snickers Cup Series, they are just moments from being run. Hope you'll tune in for those. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the group today. Helps me out a lot. Here comes your official finishing results, overall point standings, and rookie points heading into our All-Star Race weekend, which should take place sometime next week. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.